Sugar, I need...
One word. Half a word, really. But I'd heard my mother say it the same way 100 times growing up, and I never once waited for her to finish the sentence. The woman at the end of the counter was shaking so hard her cuff was rattling against the wood, cold sweat on her forehead, eyes losing focus by the second. I knew exactly what was happening and exactly how fast it could turn. I stepped away from the espresso machine. My manager told me to step back. We had 9 people in line. It was performance review week. He had numbers to hit and I was the only one on the bar. He laid it out plainly. Get back on the machine or get off the clock. Permanently. I called 911 anyway. Then I went to her, got sugar packets from the register counter, got her talking, got her hands wrapped around something warm, kept her name in the conversation so she'd stay with me. 4 minutes, maybe 5, until the paramedics came through the door. She was going to be fine. I was not going to have a job. I untied my apron, took the photo of my daughter out of my locker, and walked out into the Minneapolis cold. Behind me on the counter sat a white folder. 5 years of performance reviews, 6 handwritten letters from regulars, a process improvement proposal I'd spent 3 weeks writing, my shift lead application. I'd meant to hand it in before the end of the day. I left it there. My hands had been full of something more important. 40 minutes later, my phone rang. The voice on the other end was Willa Strand. She'd gotten my name from the EMS report and walked back into that store the same afternoon, wrist still bandaged, because she wanted to say it to my face. The man who had walked in with her was Owen Lattimore. 31 years ago, he'd started Stoneleaf Coffee from a pushcart. He'd been standing in line that morning doing his quarterly anonymous review, something he'd never stopped doing across 23 locations. He had watched everything. He had picked up my folder when the counter cleared, read every page, recognized 2 names from the customer letters as people he'd known since the beginning. He told Craig to read my evaluation aloud, right there, in front of the afternoon shift. Then he called me. The position he offered didn't exist before that morning. Area training lead, 6 locations, responsible for setting the standard his managers kept failing to maintain. He'd seen the proposal in my folder and realized I'd been doing the job without the title for years. Craig got one thing right about me. I wasn't ready for shift lead. I was already past it. Some people will remove you from a room the moment you become inconvenient. That removal is information. About them, not about you. If someone's ever underestimated what you were actually built for, this one belongs to you.